Oh, there we go. Okay. Joe, say something?
Hello, hello.
Oh, baby, we live.
Oh, I see it.
I think.
No, I don't see it. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, here it is.
There. It might take a second cuz
Yep.
obviously the stream's delayed. Okay,
Yep.
we'll give it like 5-10 minutes. We can shoot the shit for a little bit. So have you gotten any Lord of the Rings drafts in there yet?
I have not, dude.
Oh, Jesus. Joe. Have you like watched any or done anything like that?
I've been watching a little bit,
Okay.
like Newmont, LSV videos and stuff, but
Okay, nice. As long as you've been doing something with it.
yeah, yeah,
Because I don't know, I really enjoy it. It's been really good. Better than I expected.
yeah,
Although I haven't gotten to drafting any more of it either, just because I've been drafting Eternal when I can
yeah,
for the
yeah.
for the channel. But when they don't update the format for 7 months, they baited me too. So they do like the pop up news things the same way Arena does,
Yeah.
and they one of them was finally like July 19th rebalance or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, this is going to be it, right? So I like bring up the notes. It's three cards that are just like constructed only cards. And I was like, bro, like, oh my god.
Classic. Yeah.
And it was just bad because it's like, man, it really doesn't take that much to figure out some balances for limited. Like
Right, right.
it's what cards are overperforming. Like I'm sure they have that data.
Yeah, I mean, how could they not?
Yeah. Actually, that might be like a spicy video to do. Like fixing Behemoths of Terra draft. And then I can
Yeah,
go
yeah.
into like how I think they could balance the format. That
That
might
might be
be a
pretty cool.
fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because it's definitely like it gives like Midnight Hunt vibes for sure.
Oh, okay.
Where like blue black was the best color,
Yeah, yeah.
like by far. And I think I think Eternal's less self-correcting because there's not as many drafters. So it's
Right.
like there's no self-correction when there's so much churn. Like sure, all the best people that continually play Eternal know, but when there's probably a lot of churn of just newer or more casual people, they aren't
Right.
choosing like
They don't know
the
what they're
good
doing.
cards.
Yeah.
So that could be a part of the problem too. But I say we get into some of these packs since I mean it's gonna take forever to get through.
Yeah, let's do it.
448 packs. I've been hoarding
Jeez.
these just from all of my winnings for like a special occasion. So
Yeah.
we're gonna crack them open. I especially need this. So Joe, this is the current set right here, and I especially need some cards from this set. So also funny enough, you see this card Beekeeper. Summon, you get a 2/2 B with flying, and you play it. So it's kind of like Preening Champion from March of the Machines, just like the inverse. It's a 1/1
Oh, it's a one
that
one. It gives us
gives.
two two.
Well,
With
I mean, I guess it is kind of the same thing.
yeah,
Because remember, tokens in this game, there aren't really tokens, they just turn into
they're just
another
cards.
card.
Okay.
This card is like busted.
Yeah,
And I
this is
can
really.
really tell when I'm like in a more casual draft pod because I'll just see this like super late and just move in and take all of them. But
Yeah, yeah.
That's like one of the all-star performers. Ooh, legendary right off the bat here. Oh my god, and this one's insane. So it's got Aegis, which is basically like shield counters from Streets of New Capenna, and
Okay.
Vigilance to translate it for you. Your units are invulnerable to damage in combat while they have a shield counter.
Okay.
Absolutely insane. So you
Wow.
basically have to 2-for-1 yourself just to kill this, and you feel punished because you spend your whole turn to kill it, and they just play a second one, and now it doesn't even matter. Now you need three. Wow, another legendary, and this one's pretty sick. At the start of each player's turn, they sack a unit. Then you increase his entomb effect by one. So it'll be draw two, gain two, draw three, gain three, and then it's just a big 10-10.
Okay.
That's a cool one. Not as competitive as like the other one, but still
Yeah.
like a fun card. Yeah, that's man, that Aegis card, I just get wrecked by that in just like grinding my dailies constantly.
Yeah. Any of those like hexproof or whatever
Ooh.
shield counters are so bad.
Yeah. Shield counters, I mean, I hated Streets of New Capenna, but that was a set that honestly just needed some rebalancing and then it would be
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
So, really unfortunate about that one. The dual faction power cards, I think I'm like nearing 4 copies of each, but I do need a couple of those. It's mainly legendaries that I need from this set. There's legendary and one rare. I've like 4x'd a bunch of the rares, and I was like making a expedition deck, and I need 1 copy of the rare, and I just had 0 copies of it. I'm like, how does that even happen?
Of course. How big are these sets compared to like a magic set?
That's a really good question. I think they're probably they're
Like
probably like
comparable?
in between one of the subsets that they used to have
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like a main set, I would
Okay.
say.
Gotcha.
Somewhere in between. Oh my god, Pinsirant, this card has been my favorite rare to open up and draft. Killer is basically fight just one time use on a unit, and then it makes it nightfall. Think of the night day mechanic
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in Midnight Hunt, and it makes their
Yep.
stuff more expensive. So just super strong card, really fun card to play with too. Yeah, I mean this set was sweet. It's just you can't like I don't the whole idea of the digital client and balancing it's really rough, especially for draft to just like not do anything to it for a while.
Yeah, it's always gonna get a little old.
After a while, here's
Yeah.
the +2 power and flying if you play to spell this turn. Swings for 5 damage in the air, just absolutely
Jeez.
insane. But we'll see. We'll see if we can pick up. What are? Oh, okay. What is this? Second, third legendary, alluring predator. It is a strong one, but not what we're looking for. We're looking for the Hive King, and what the hell's the other thing? The Winter Fox, I think it's called. That's a really nice foil. Premium, I guess they call it here. Another dual faction card. Joe, can I interest you? You can play any number of lands per turn, and
Oh,
landfall you
nice.
gain 1 health.
When you already have 6 mana? Nice.
3 of which need to be a specific color.
Wow, it's pretty good.
It's a rare that I've opened up an embarrassing amount of times, I'll say that much. This has been, yeah. So Time, the yellow faction in Eternal,
Hmm.
is
Yep.
like just so busted right now. It's basically Time and Fire, and it's a big part because of just the commons are so good. Like Beekeeper and Cautious Mantis are just so strong.
Yeah.
So I think they literally just need like a couple hits on the time cards. Actually, well, a few hits on the time cards, especially the commons, and then maybe one or two hits on some of the fire cards, and then they need to do something about the justice, the green faction. It's just like all of the units are just like miserable. Okay, 7 costs 7 7. Each of your units' power and health becomes the higher of the two. Each enemy unit's power and health becomes the lower of the two. Like, how boring of a. Like, that's probably good, but it doesn't have, like,
Kind of weird.
overwhelm or
Yeah.
trample. It'll have games where it's literally just a
Or
7
just doesn't
cost
do
7
anything. Yeah.
7. Like, that's your legendary. At least give it, some type of special ability.
Yeah. Right.
Oh wow, we are hitting all of the legendaries. Although this looks use 7 cost relic. When you play a unit, it deals its power and damage to an enemy of your choice.
Oh wait. What? Oh my
Yeah.
god. Okay.
I mean, hey, if I drafted and I opened that up, I would for sure just pick it and play it.
Yeah. Try to give it a shot.
But that's for sure like an awful do nothing 7 cost thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. Especially when it's this far into the format. When right, so we get a new set every quarter just about for Magic, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And for here it's every 6 months, I think just
It's
about.
crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smaller game, so you got to imagine the design team is smaller.
I do get it. Yeah.
So it's like what, how much can they really do?
Right.
But for sure balancing the set, like
Yeah.
I
Like you were
don't
saying.
get I don't get why. So what they do is the quarter in between the sets is when they release like a small subsection of like constructed only cards. When they do that, they should just balance the draft format. And we did
Right.
it. This is a rare I needed. Play a permafrost on each unit. It stuns the cursed unit, so basically it's permanently stays tapped is the best way to. So it's like a one-sided
Oh. Okay.
semi-board wipe. You remember the lesson learn mechanic from Strixhaven?
Yeah.
Basically, they kind of have that in constructed right now. So that's a really good like toolbox card to keep in your, quote unquote learn pile.
Right.
Oh my god. And this is the common removal that fire has. One costs 3 damage to a unit, fast spell speed.
What?
Just like
Okay.
absolutely insane. I just can't believe it's common. Like,
That's crazy.
they probably should have made that the uncommon removal and just made a less strong version of it for common.
Yeah.
Because one. And it's weird, like, it's a common, even if you shift it to uncommon, like, even if you're free to play, I mean, you 4x uncommons really quick.
Right.
And even if you didn't play that consistently, you can always just convert it from your shift stone that you do get from opening up packs.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about that one. That could be like a interesting, what do you call it, balance to the set.
Yep.
Even something as simple as you see Gate Captain here, 4 costs 3/3, summon play a 1/2 soldier with Aegis. Reads like a good card, right?
Yeah.
But just 3/3 is a really bad stat line in this set. And the double influence that you need to play this,
Oh, okay,
oh
yeah.
my god, dude. The amount of times, even if you have like for your average draft deck that bites you is just, oh my
Yeah,
god.
I can imagine.
Like all you would need to do is make it single influence as like the tiniest of buff. Single influence, make it a 3/4. Oh, we get another one of our big lizard guy here.
Nice.
Another weird thing about the format is there aren't that many two drops, so the good ones are super important, but you just end up with this giant peak at 3 power.
Hmm.
Okay, Joe, can I interest you in six, four of which are time, 0/6 vigilance,
Okay.
+1/+1 for each of your turns that have ended this game? That's a funky little card.
That's so weird.
I think I have seen people play it in like kind of like a reanimator style deck.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on here? But also cards like this. This is a rare. Kill a blocked or blocking unit for 2 power.
Dude, that's like a common white removal spell or
That's
whatever.
that's exactly my point. It's like
Like that
at
would be like a
the
C level removal spell or like a D
C
plus.
level removal spell. Now, there is slight difference. Like the removal in Eternal is, I think, intentionally worse
Right.
than Magic, but
Yeah.
you would rather have Ignite in like the majority of
Basically every
scenarios.
situation, yeah.
And it's like, man, at least when I read that as a rare, I was like, what? This is like maybe like an uncommon I could see.
Yeah.
But even that, like, downshift that to uncommon. And, you know, I don't know how they would fix that hole in rarities, but does it even matter at only one rare per pack in draft?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure that would,
I don't even
like,
know. Yeah.
make a big difference. And they have, like, a reprint section in the new set that's that they could just fill in any other justice card into that rare slot. But yeah, I thought you'd like that one. I read that and I'm like, what? How is this like a rare? I just
Wild.
don't understand. But I get that that would be a little bit harder. This is another beating. Once again, you see all these busted cards in time. 7 cost 8/8 with Overwhelm, Trample. Summon,
Okay.
gain 1 health for each unit in the enemy void. So it's at least like gain 3 or 4 by the time you're playing this.
Jeez.
And just like one double block for them to kill it, and then you have like removal spell or protection, and they're just like absolutely
Brutal. Yeah.
demolished. Oh, here's another Justice rare. The enemy player gets -4 power on their turn. So imagine this as 4 lands your opponent controls don't untap during their next untap step.
Oh my god.
Like,
What the hell?
like you could make arguments, I guess, that that's like, is it time walk? Is it just take an extra turn? It's like, no, because
Oh,
later
we
in the
got another one.
game,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah, we got another, thank God. Later in the game, it probably doesn't do anything, and then they can still attack and block. So, what
Yeah,
is.
that is so weird.
And these are two of the rares in this set right there that are just like Okay, here's another. This is the common removal for Justice. Kill an attacking enemy unit. Downside, it can't be played at night. 4. It costs
4 mana.
4 for a
Wow.
situational plus downside. Like, man, you need to make this cost 3
Yeah,
at
at the most.
at most. Maybe even 3 and remove that downside. How about that? I
Yeah,
would I
yeah.
could get in for that. 3 and remove the downside, or 2
I
and
mean,
keep
in
the
Magic it would be
downside.
2 with no downside,
Exactly.
for sure.
And even next time it comes up, there's a primal common removal spell that's 2 cost, deal 4 to a attacking unit.
Yeah.
Isn't that basically kill a unit?
I
4
mean, pretty
damage?
much. Yeah.
Especially when a lot of the eternal units aren't very strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like really. And this is just like off the top of my head as somebody who's played the format a decent amount. Like,
Right.
I'm sure if you have a bunch more data on this, you could like make even better edits. How many legendaries have we gotten? And I've seen 0 of the ones I need. I only need 1 copy of the one. Oh, okay, here we go. Winter Fox. Damn it. I say this, and people are gonna yell that I have 200,000 Shiftstone, which is like, I could craft like 60 legendaries with it, or something. Okay, this is a rare. I was about to say, what? I've never seen that relic before in my life. Justice got removal in the. Yes. Yes, that's true. Okay, I'm just opening up the chat. That's my bad, just seeing this. Sup Hard Rock and sup Venmo of Grace. She says hi, Joe.
Oh, I can see.
Okay, you got it pulled up too. That's just the issue, right? Justice needs like lower rarity removal. And even the common removal like entrapment, like, man, just like make it cost 3 or something. Let's see. I mean, this one bothers me so much because, like you said, Joe, that's literally like. I think usually that effect costs 3. Like, kill shot, I think it is, 2 and a white
Yeah, yeah.
to kill an attacking unit.
Yep.
Venom of Grace. Joma wants me to tell you hi, like you just can't read it in the chat. The one cool thing I will say, they have a cycle of units that have pay 8 to have this big like game breaking effect. And if the games go late enough, that is really cool to have like pay 8 to lock down 2 enemy units. Like,
Right.
it definitely adds to the urgency to end the game, and it gives the late game some like meaning to it. So there's a lot of cool things about the format. They just need to balance the damn Praxis cards and give a slight buff to the Justice. I'd say Justice and Primal are the factions that need like the biggest buff. Or like, do we really need mill the top 6 cards of the enemy player's
Wow,
deck?
thank God we have that card.
Keep in mind, Joe, there's no mill synergies in this set. Lightning Strike, deal 4 to an attacking enemy unit. Like, how different is that really than kill a blocking or blocked unit? When you draw your second card in a turn, your units get +2 power this turn. Interesting. That's pretty good. That's another card that I haven't seen. Oh my god, Joe, I love this card. When the enemy player draws their second card in a turn, you draw a card. And Nightfall, what it does as a difference from Magic is you draw 2 cards that turn, but you take 1 damage.
Oh, okay.
So it breaks that symmetry by letting you essentially draw 2 off of the Nightfall.
Oh, wow.
And oh my god, and just keep in mind, it's also just other cards in the format, create a copy of a card that technically counts as drawing. So you just end up drawing off of like so many random effects. It's pretty sweet. When one of your other units readies, untaps, it gets +1/+1, and you gain an armor. And you can pay an additional 2 to play Equalize, which is basically balance. If you know white from Magic.
Yep.
Okay, that card's insane. I'd love to open up that legendary. Give one of your blocking units +8/+8 this turn as a rare. That's a fun one. And that is true about the... What's the name of the card? Whatever the kill and attacking. A blocked or blocking unit. Yeah, Primal's weak. Really? Okay. So Hard Rock, what do you think... What's your rating of the factions, in your opinion, for this set? I think, like, if I had to think about it off the top of my head, I would say Time, Fire, Shadow, Primal Justice. I feel like I would flip it. But I think they're both, like, bottom tier for me. I've just... The one thing I've noticed about Primal is it does have, like, key... It's like a key role player in, like, Nightfall decks. I don't know. It's like a good support faction, I feel. Time, Fire, Justice, Shadow, Primal. Interesting. Okay, Justice over Shadow. And then Primal being the worst. I mean, I can buy that. Regardless, they need to buff Primal at the very minimum, and I think they could do some work to give us some decent Justice removal for sure. Still haven't seen the legendary we want here.
You've only opened up 100 and...
yeah,
packs,
only 135 packs. Is that what it was?
Yeah, something like that.
You know the awful thing about that, Joe, is we still have, like, another 200 packs on Arena to also open at some point.
Oh, yeah.
But that's, like, even less important, because I enjoy playing Constructed in Eternal more than I do on Arena. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe, can I interest you? 2 red. You get +6 power this turn. You can only play 1 more card this turn. So it adds
You get 6 mana, basically.
Yeah. It adds 6 mana to your mana pool, is the best I can translate it to Magic terms.
Just like a weird combo card.
Combo card. It's
Yeah.
funny, there have been games where I've been playing where I'm like, damn, if my opponent did ramp 2 here, I'm screwed. Like, the card has, like, popped in my head about if they did have this, I'm just, like, absolutely demolished right now. But also, the other half of the time, the card doesn't do anything.
Yeah. They printed this in Magic, or like something very similar.
Yeah, I feel like it's a somewhat common card. Cold Hunt. I think this was my favorite draft format in Eternal. At least thus far out of what I've played. Cold Hunt was just like the best way I could translate it in Magic terms, it felt like a master set. Really high power level, a lot of like it really rewarded good gameplay. And I'm probably just super biased because I did like ridiculously good in the format.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was a really fun one. Revelations was basically when I started. That's kind of when we started drafting Magic less, and I started only doing Eternal.
Hmm.
Definitely some fond memories just from that, but very weird game mechanics. It kind of had like a morph type mechanic,
Hmm.
but not wouldn't crack any of my top lists, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
I think did you do one of the Revelations leagues with me? I can't
Uh,
remember. I feel like or maybe it was
maybe.
Venom of Grace. Courier Tactician, Elder, Battle Mage. Tactician, Elder. Yeah, it does have a lot of strong units. I just feel like a lot of them, like to have a good Justice deck, you need some of the higher rarity units to make it work. Whereas, man, you could just force praxis out of all commons and then like still get there. But you're right, a lot of those cards are just really strong. Especially the I like the pay 8 stun 2 enemy units. That card always overperforms for me. But yeah, all the ones you listed, Ballista Marksman, giving something flying. Joe, can I interest you in 8 mana, kill all units? You can pay an additional 1 to play a 2/2 flyer.
Nice.
At
Eight
uncommon.
mana sweeper. Yeah.
When I was drafting this set, it always felt bad because you were like, it's uncommon. So, like, you
Yeah.
could never fully, like, rule it out, but it's always like, man, I'm gonna get owned by this 8 mana, like, board wipe that they probably shouldn't really be playing in their unit heavy deck.
Yeah. That's weird. It's uncommon though.
What the hell is this? When Iza Chi takes damage on your turn, create and draw a random fire card and non-fire card? He gets flying this turn? Interesting. He gets flying is weird because you think you would attack with it, your
Already
opponent
attacked. Yeah.
blocks. But I guess there's weird things you could do to deal damage to everything.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's strange.
They definitely the legendaries in Eternal, I think, are much more interesting than a lot of the mythics in Magic. And that could just be because I've been playing Magic for so long, so a lot of them are like, yeah, 5 mana to, have this giant paragraph of really wacky text or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever it happens to be. But I
A
feel
lot of them are
like
just obviously for Commander too, so it's like don't really play
exactly.
them in limited.
Like, how cool non Valkyrie units in your deck have Valkyrie Warp Charge. So basically, you can play the top card of your deck if you have a unit that is the type Valkyrie, and it gets haste.
Oh, okay.
That's like, a pretty fun, like, tribal based legendary. That's a card, like, I wish was a rare, because that would just be a really fun draft card to get to play around. And this is the set where I started to play more consistently. I didn't start drafting consistently during Argent Depths, but I started playing like the leagues. I would do my dailies every day. Realistically, not that long ago when I think about it. I wonder if I need to get Sonny to start playing this game again. I don't know if I told you, but he started playing this for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I got him into it, and he started like he would start sending me like what do you call it, battle requests or whatever. You can
Yeah, yeah.
like direct. Uh,
Like a direct battle. Yeah,
exactly. But the issue, we'd like hang out and he'd be doing his daily or whatever, and I'd be like, okay, like let me see the deck you're using. And I remember I told him specifically, like, keep your deck to the minimum amount of cards. Especially he's like a new player, he's never played card games before.
yeah, yeah.
And I look at the deck, it has like 15 cards over the max, and I'm like, bro, this was like the one rule I told you to like stick to. And he's like, oh, but it's so hard to cut cards. And I just thought it was
Oh
so
man.
funny because, right, that's just something like every new person to card games does
Yeah, yeah.
and like has difficulty with.
It's funny.
And just because it's Sunny out of like all people.
I know.
Justice pairs well. Depths is considered the most powerful. Interesting. Okay, yeah, once again, Argent Depths, this was like before my time where I was like really playing limited consistently. So that's upsetting that I kind of missed out on that because I tend to like the stronger power level, the set. I just have a lot of fun with that to a point. I'm actually probably like the only person that isn't like a huge fan of like the vintage cube for Magic, or I don't know, Joe, if that's like if you're big in a
I really don't like that. Yeah.
yeah. Like, I think watching it's really fun, seeing all like the crazy strong stuff that can happen. But
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just not like the fun interactive Magic that I really want to play, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. It's just so different. The games just play out so differently. It's not
I
really.
think that's what it is.
Just doesn't feel like regular limited.
But for example, they had the chromatic cube, which is really high power level, and I'm pretty sure we did a draft or two of that, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
I just, whenever I do those like middle tier cubes, we always end up in some like, I just can't not end up in some blue white splash black like value ETB type deck.
Yeah, yeah.
but it's just because I'm just like not knowledgeable to know how to draft this specific weird combo deck or
Yeah, there's always really specific things you gotta draft in those.
yeah.
It's like, oh, you gotta take the lands super highly.
I wonder, what if, I mean, hell, what if Eternal just, I feel like this could be really easy. It's a smaller player base, so they can't do what Magic does and like offer multiple queues for different type of draft formats. But I feel like it wouldn't be that crazy. Maybe like a month after the campaign cards release for Constructed. So that's like 4 months into the draft format. They bring back a past draft format. That way, it's at no cost to them to even worrying about designing something. It
Yeah,
still gets us, it lets us enjoy their hard work and design of a set in the past, and it still like switches up the pace and the, I don't know, keeps things fresh.
yeah. Do they never do that? They never bring back like past sets.
No. Yeah, once a draft set's gone, it's gone.
Gotcha.
And see, that's a crazy thing, Hard Rock. I bet if you played Vintage now, since there's been so many strong, made specifically for vintage modern cards, I bet you wouldn't even recognize a lot of vintage. Because it's even changed in the past, like, 5 years. When I go back and I look at, like, vintage draft guides, like, a lot's changed. Just because the new cards they print are so obviously buffed in power level for that reason. But yeah, man, that would be so fun. Just bring back some of the old draft sets. Uh, one can one can hope. I'm glad Arena does it a lot more now. In fact, Joma, I think right now is Neon Dynasty. If
Oh,
you
nice.
want to like if
Yeah, I
you
gotta.
if you don't feel like getting on for the Lord of the Rings draft set, like you should get back on for Neon Dynasty of all
Yeah, I
the
definitely want to
sets.
play that again.
But you probably need a I don't, it might have already, no, I think it's to the 26th if I
Check.
remember correctly.
Let's see how hard it is to find the schedule. They always bury this stuff. Oh, it's to the 24th.
To the
Okay,
24th, so you have a couple
so
days.
Monday. Yeah, probably do one.
Oh, you have paper tendril like Storm and Dredge? Or did you play Vintage on like Magic Online? I know that's Magic Online still has like a big Vintage populace since that's the only, damn, that is sick. Those decks and cards are probably tripled in price by now too. But to be honest, I couldn't even tell you the Vintage metagame right now. I wish I could. Joe, do you have like any remote idea?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't even guess. Just they've released so many purposely made for vintage. Like what they'll do is instead of it going to standard or like the expedition format of Magic, they just make it no, you can only play this in vintage, which is cool because it changes up the format, but that's also like against the whole idea of vintage. Like
Yeah.
it's supposed to stay the same and
I feel
have a
like a lot
lot
of
of
those
the old
cards are not
cards.
popular or like not well received.
Yeah. It's almost just like two on the nose, right? Like they
Yeah.
print like Ren and 6 and then oh wow, now you can wasteland repeatedly your opponent. Like,
Yeah.
now obviously it's a two cost like 1/1 planeswalker. Obviously not going to be very good in like standard. Probably not. I mean, who knows? It probably has niche play in Commander for like land specific decks, but here we're opening Eternal, and like the majority of our conversation has been about Magic. Okay, Joe, can I interest you in one time enchantment? All creatures have haste. All creatures have
Oh, good.
haste.
Not all your creatures. Nice.
God. So,
Nice rare.
yeah, right? You're like really happy to open up that rare in draft.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But who knows? I say that, and I've like mentioned sometimes, like, oh my god, this card's like so awful or ridiculous. And then like somebody in the comments will be like, "Oh, that's like a part of this busted like combo deck or some weird
Yeah, I could
obscure thing I had
see
no
you
idea."
trying to build around it, but I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a little skeptical of it.
Yeah. I've been meaning, that reminds me. I don't even know if you're going to know this card, but it's like it was a 1 green enchant world. That's how old it was.
Yeah, yeah.
And it gave all units haste, and it's like a $50 like commander staple
Oh,
now.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I can't.
Crossroads or something, or
Yeah.
and I
Concordance
have a.
Crossroads,
Oh, is that what it
something like
is?
that. Yeah, Concordant Crossroads. Yep.
Yeah. Enchant World. That's how old it is. And
Jeez. Yeah,
I
the legends.
yeah, I have a copy of that back home. It's probably still like a $50 card.
Is it like the legends black border printing?
Um,
That's like right now. Well, the
how
original one is
much?
like 160, but I
No
think
way.
they're reprinting it a bunch of times. So the
So
cheapest one is like
what's
$10.
okay? I can't remember. Does it have a Chronicles printing
It does, yeah.
in white border?
White border,
And that one's $10,
13. Still like,
$13.
yeah, for Chronicles is like,
Yeah, I think it had another like more modern printing as well, and that really dropped the price.
it looks like they printed in one of the master sets.
Yeah. And that's true, man. I really wish LSV was still designing Eternal. That's probably one of the reasons I enjoyed it so much. And I'm just like, I'm slightly salty. I started playing League and drafting Eternal like consistently once he left.
Yeah,
Oh my god. But that's probably a big reason of why I enjoy Eternal Draft so much. And it still has like right doesn't I think Patrick Chapin is still on the design team. I mean, they have a bunch of like ridiculously skilled Magic players on the design team.
yeah, yeah.
It's just, man, let's put them to work on some like draft buffs and balances, please.
Seriously.
Literally, like just like get two people in the room and just start talking shop about it. Like that just sounds like piece of really. They all left. I wonder, Hard Rock, do you know how recently that they left? I wonder if that has anything to do with why there like have been like barely any. There have been no events this year, like no competitive events, no draft changes. Interesting. Huh. So Joe, you see that? That's
Yeah,
I mean that could very well be why there's like not very many updates.
makes sense.
Huh. I didn't know that. But I mean that makes a lot of sense. It's like I keep on waiting for a draft open. Like I think I think they should do like draft opens like a month after the set's been out and then maybe like 1 month before the set ends, like super soon so where it's still fresh and then it really rewards people's like skill in cracking a draft format. But then later in the format, when, you know, it's played out, you've kind of figured out the draft set. They're not going to have worlds. When. Yeah, damn. That's really upsetting, especially considering, like, I've gotten so much more into Eternal. But, I mean, that's just the way it is. I get it's probably hard when your audience isn't that big. And I'm not even sure what the solution could be for that besides just advertising it more. I really think just more community outreach. But yeah, great game like you said. I think they implement digital only designs a million times better than Magic Arena has attempted
Magic's
to.
designs are so bad for the digital cards, I think.
It's so bad. Like,
It's super weird, like, they love to do, like, random stuff with tons of text on it. I don't know.
yeah. And it's bad even when, like, LSV and Marshall are like, yeah, we're just not a fan of it.
Yeah.
Now, I do think one of the massive issues with why nobody likes Alchemy in terms of draft. I know it's kind of, you know, constructed
Yeah.
has different issues, but I like that they balance the stats. They can balance the effects of the cards, right? I think that you only need to turn the knob so much in draft, like +1 +0, +0 +1, -1 -1,
Yeah,
like to really fine tune the balance of the set. But the issue is they put a bunch of ridiculously strong digital only weird effects to impact constructed, and then it totally throws off the draft format because it doesn't feel natural to the draft format. It's just like we're playing with all these C level, B level draft cards, and then there's this ridiculous thing that creates a 2/2 token into your hand every turn.
Yeah, they're all just ridiculous bombs, like all the alchemy rares.
Even when it's like uncommon. It's like, oh, you
Yeah,
always pick the alchemy uncommon.
just always pick it, yeah.
Whereas I think they should just keep those in alchemy packs, like constructed packs. And then for their alchemy, like the draft packs, they just fine tune the balance of the cards.
Yeah, right.
Do some rarity downshifts, like, and I think then people would play it more and like it.
I think that would be a great thing. They just, yeah, they don't really do that.
They don't because they're just trying to like, you know, it's kind of the least amount of effort for everybody. Like, okay, these are putting the cards in the ecosystem for alchemy, and then it's, you know, look at this new draft format, but
Yeah.
nobody wants to play it because it's not what's the word? It's just so incongruent with the rest of the draft format.
Right.
Okay, Joe, can I interest you in 5 red red? The wielder can't fly, +9/+9. at the end of your turn, if it attacked, tap it and it doesn't untap during your next turn.
Okay. It's like an enchant creature.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
Legendary too.
Nice. That was what was that, like 7 mana or something?
7 mana.
I,
Oh, what the hell just happened? I just randomly clicked off. We're almost there. We're almost down to under 100 packs. Okay. Play a unit from your void that died this turn. Yeah, well, man, that's actually really depressing to learn that a lot of the Magic pros left. I just think if they did better with their advertising with it, like just sponsor a bunch of content creators to play. Cuz even for people who like Magic more, if you really love drafting, there's like no downside to also draft Eternal. It's like similar enough game mechanics where the skills are translational, and you kind of just get an additional set to draft a year in terms of like fun and enjoyment. I don't know that. I don't know, Joe, if you have any opinions on that, but
yeah, I don't know.
I think that would solve that. I mean,
It makes sense.
that's how you get people aware of your game, especially when it is so close to Magic. I think it works because there's just so much depth in the type of card game this is. And Eternal has a lot of stuff, like I said, that Magic can't do properly because
Right.
it's mostly a physical card game.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's true really anymore, but you kind of get my point.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting, really. Maybe they did. Do you know about when that happened? Brian Kibler playing Eternal? That sounds like a fun time. I mean, I don't know. It seems like low a low effort like way to put out your game. And they could even do it to people outside of like the Magic market. I could maybe buy like they don't want to have Magic professionals play it because I don't know, it'll make the viewers just be like, "Okay, now I'm going to go back to play Magic." But I don't even know if I buy that because I feel like the average Magic player that would see their favorite Magic professional play this would be, this seems interesting, fun, just something else to do when I'm bored of whatever the current Magic set is. And it's like
It's probably easier to get into than Magic, too.
it's much more free to play friendly, for sure.
Is their mobile app like better? Because Arena is really hard to play on your phone. At least last time I used their app.
That is a
like
really sick premium.
Whoa.
Yes. I think the Eternal app is much more user friendly than Magic.
Yeah,
But
that's kind of what I.
but what they did is they built in game mechanics to make that. So, for
Right.
example, on Magic, you can have a million creatures, a million units
Yeah.
on the battlefield, right?
Yeah.
You can have a million cards in hand. Like, Eternal has a max number of cards and units you can have on the board. So it can't get too complex and
Right. Right.
awkward to play. And also Magic's like way of clicking, grabbing the card and then you moving it
Yeah.
is so like elastic. I don't know if
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to get at. Whereas like Eternal, it's much more like I don't know how to describe it. Just the UI and clicking and
Just better
dragging a
for.
card
Yeah. Yeah.
just is better.
Yeah.
So yeah, 12 units and 9 cards is the max.
Okay.
Yeah, Hearthstone, I've heard. So I actually did. This is going back a long time ago, and I wish he was like here to hop on the stream, but I think he works. I drafted Hearthstone. This was probably when like Amonkhet was in standard. My buddy and I would draft Hearthstone because he was a big Hearthstone player at the time. And the consensus I got from that was Hearthstone was incredibly not free to play. But yeah, Eternal has been the most like. I mean, you guys see my ridiculous hoarded amount of Shiftstone, and I'm still usually able to draft pretty competitive Eternal Expedition decks, even with hoarding all of my Shiftstone. To get so I can't even tell you how many games. I mean, it's so what I tell people is always like you get your daily win. I always play the league for the month. And then just by doing so your daily win, your daily quest, and the leagues. And that just, it usually ends up giving you, like, if I do the 1 pack per day thing plus the league, I'm usually able to get about, like, 40 or so packs a month. So, what's that? 10 months since I've opened up a pack? So I'm probably actually getting packs at a higher rate than that because I did open up my Behemoth Cetera packs early on in the format. Playing 4 years ago. Really? Well, I think they just need to do that again. Like, if your game's on the decline, if you don't have a big enough design team, then how much does it really cost to like throw? I don't know, throw two free draft tickets to 10 popular, I don't know, digital card game streamers to play the game. Like, that's pretty low investment from the company and could probably get a decent amount of viewers. But yeah, so I would say you probably get like 40 to 50 packs a month if you do your daily win a day, daily quest a day, plus the league for the month. Because right there with the league gives you like, I mean, depending where you place, it's usually at least like 12 packs, all the way up to like 16 or so. Yeah, it's I don't know. I find it fun to see the difference between all the digital card games. I just know that the Hearthstone draft apparently died out. a decent amount ago. Joe, we should do one of those drafts one time.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fun. It's probably I wouldn't even remember how to play, to be honest. Pay for an exhaust to play a pay for and tap to play a +4/+4 mithril armor on another one of your units. Yeah, that'd be busted. In draft. In draft. Joe, have you been keeping count of our legendary
No,
number?
no. Is it just like magic, like one out of
Um,
every 8 packs or whatever it is? Is it similar?
does somebody in the chat know? I think it's actually like 20%. I think it's 20%. I'm pretty sure I did this on one of my pack opening videos. And like I opened up 200 packs or whatever and we got like 21 legendaries or something. But maybe I'm thinking of when we did a magic pack opening.
It probably was.
Oh shit. Well, I appreciate you were able to like get some value off of my advice for sure. I mean, that's why I do that. Forge is a really easy way to get packs. I did forget about that. I was thinking about like the daily and monthly things, but for sure getting Forge to master, getting Gauntlet to master is another really fun and easy way of getting packs for free. And it's less stressful because you're against AI. You're just against the computer. So it's not like you aren't stressed at all. You can take forever in between your turns if you're like cooking or eating food, whatever it happens to be. But yeah, I forgot about that. And I'm the one who brought that up in a previous video. Okay, Joe, we're almost to the time. I am really excited for this next segment of the stream here.
This will be interesting.
So, for for everybody that doesn't know, I did a little like retrospective out of all of like my draft files and like crazy moments or whatever, and I've compiled like my top ridiculous moments from since I started this channel. And I think I think it's honestly been about 2 years, which is kind of ridiculous to think about.
Crazy, yeah.
And it's definitely hasn't been like consistent over the 2 years. I really appreciate you saying that, for sure, for sure. I actually didn't know Hearthstone Draft was Phantom, where you don't keep the cards. Interesting. But so, uh, as I was saying, and as you can see, I'm still really new to the streaming thing. It's really hard to like talk and interact with the chat, but I'm doing the best. I've compiled the top ridiculous moments. Now, when I started this channel, I mostly drafted with Joe because it was a fun way. There's nothing more fun, I feel, than drafting with one of your buddies. You stream like your stream to them, and you both like take part in it, joke around. Like, that is by far, I think, my favorite way to play Magic. Like, Joe, whenever we've played, whenever like my buddy Josh or the other Joe hop on, Addison's done it before. That it's just so fun,
Yeah,
and
that's definitely way
we've
better.
we've had a really good time doing that. But the Magic draft content just was not popular at all, especially compared to when I would do an Eternal draft. So I kind of shifted to that. Plus, Joe and I get busy. We're on weird work schedules that don't line up particularly
Yeah.
well. So I started doing more Eternal. So what I did is I have like a 50-50 split between the magic moments with Joe and some of the most ridiculous Eternal moments that have happened too. And we're going to get to playing that next. And I'm going to like pause throughout the video so we can talk about it because Joe, I don't even know if you're going to remember some of these cuz even
I'm
I was
interested to
like,
see, yeah, how much of these I remember.
yeah. And like I said, it was kind of ridiculous how much I had to cut from what I wanted to put on. But so I need to shift around the stream here and hopefully this doesn't blow everything up. So let's do this and let's do this. Okay. So this might give you a hint to this first clip here. Okay, so you guys can see this okay. I'm hoping the audio on this is going to work out okay, but if the audio's bad, too quiet, or too low, let me know, and I can adjust it. So let's so I have
Can you stream
sections.
this on? Can you put this on Discord? Because it's gonna be delayed if
Oh
I'm trying to
crap.
watch the stream.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot I'm still streaming this to you. So let me stop that. A real newbie streamer over here, so bear with me, guys. We'll exit out of Eternal. Okay, and now I'll share my screen with you. Let me know if you can see my screen okay.
1 second. Okay, yep, I can see it.
Okay, so let's do it. I'm gonna jack up my volume too so I can I'll listen. So these are the most ridiculous moments that we've had drafting.
I still have not drafted red a single time.
Okay, time for the ASMR stream to occur.
Yep.
Damn, Joe, apples are so good.
Really are.
Far
I can't hear
superior
it.
to other fruit, such as
You
can't hear the audio.
Well, nah.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Could the stream hear the audio? How do I'm not sure how to share the audio to you. I'm actually not sure why it's not sharing the audio to you. Okay, we're doing a little troubleshooting, so bear with me. It's a bit low. I'll turn up the volume for the stream. I really want you to have like right there, like as quick as possible. I want you to be able to react to this like
I know,
in
it's gonna
real
be like
time.
5 seconds delayed if I just watch it on YouTube.
I'm not sure. Open soundboard? No, that's just... Okay, well, we might have to do that, which is kind of crummy, unless somebody knows how to... The clip gets better. That wasn't the whole joke of it though. But does anybody know how to share sharing your screen on Discord with somebody? How to include audio with it? I'm not sure why it's not including it.
It does that with Arena when we.
It does with Arena. Could you hear the Eternal audio when I was streaming it to you?
I don't think there was any audio. No.
Okay. Well, we might just need to do that then. Yeah, if you can't hear it, there's I have no idea. We'll look into that. We'll look into that later. But yeah, you might just need to like
try it again. See if I turn up my.
Okay.
I still have not drafted red a single time.
Okay, I can hear it. Yep.
You can. Okay. Time for the
Yep.
ASMR stream to occur.
Yep.
Damn, Joe, apples are so good.
Really are.
Far superior to other fruits such as bananas.
Well, I don't know about that.
Shout out to Charlie. Brambleworm.
Yeah, what a legend.
And just have it die to a bleed dry anyways.
Immediately bleed dry, yeah.
That's happened like every time I've ever played Brambleworm.
Yep.
Just like
So how do I bring up the format? So
immediately
I
punished.
think it's the middle one?
Okay.
Or no, all the way to the left. Yeah, and that should be events. And then you can do Premiere Draft. Oh, the great arena interface. That's very simple.
Yeah, right?
I
Yes.
don't know why you didn't know that.
Just like the most difficult
Wide arena
UI.
is the only thing you
But
can
we
have.
have nothing engraved.
So that's probably, I mean, it has to have that unless it's full control.
Probably just Shadow Beast sighting. They're 4 drops in hand.
Yeah.
That essentially just drew us 7 mana, create a 4/4 for free. So. Oh.
Ah, I forgot about that. We just talked about it 5 seconds ago. Remember that? Never mulligan.
I totally. What are the chances that we draw an island out of 33 cards?
100%.
Never miss. We never
Too
miss.
much to ask.
Okay.
Just get a break one time.
Just one time. Okay, so I figured that was a perfect clip to preface this. Can we get a break one time? Because I think anybody who's watched my videos for long enough knows how bad we flood. And I didn't even include all of the clips, but sometimes it's like, man, can Arena, can Eternal, can we just get a break, please? Ask for it again. Can we just have like a good, reasonable game, please?
5 minutes later.
Come on. We're at 11 sigils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards and 11 sigils. Away
This
from
deck was
7
too
ones.
good to get 7 wins.
Oh my
You had to
god.
rig it. That was the only way to stop
Yep.
7 wins.
Remember
That's
our
the only way they
busted
could stop
green
it,
blue
man.
deck?
Yeah, rig the shuffle.
Yep. How are you gonna beat this deck otherwise? I guess they're 1 damage short. I love that reaction.
Drew 3 spells.
Yeah.
Oh man. He's drawing 5 drops and we're drawing sigils as is customary. Yep. We're playing 16 lands. I mean, you guys should know that this is how it goes here. God. Yeah, look at our opponent's draws. Mills 2 rares. They just hunted our 2 rares. You can't make this up. We'll play it out. Mills our 2 rares. Continues to draw sigils after. Oh, it gets even more painful than that. We're only just getting started with the bad beats. But for sure, when you're flooding out and your opponent mills you just to continue drawing sigils or lands is one of the most infuriating feelings in Magic, in any of these card games. Oh, we draw 3 sigils in a row, and then when he mills us, it's Twin Flame Brood, Hook, and Searing Fist. I'm gonna tilt off the face of the earth if we draw a sigil.
Stop it. Get some help.
It is very probable for us to draw anything but a land here.
That's if it was random.
Okay, let's exile this, get a blood token. If it was random, Joe.
If it, yeah, rigged shuffler. Yeah.
Oh my god. We probably just blood token away 2 more lands and then equip knife. We can just pass. Common that draws a card.
Okay, let's discard our
So
lands.
exactly as I said.
Then we'll discard our mountain that we draw.
Yes. Yes.
There we go. How many lands do we even have left?
We have another land here.
We would have drawn 4 lands in 5 cards. That's 5 out of 6, dude.
Wow.
Okay, there we go.
I just want to see the next land. I just want to see it.
There it is. We saw almost every
Oh
land in
my
our deck.
god. It's like funny because I'm like joking, but I was serious when I made that call.
Power.
So, I just have to say, Joma, I don't know if you remember how bad Crimson Vow was for us.
Yeah, that was
So,
rough.
so for any of the people who don't know, so on Arena, I have about like, I think we usually hover around like a 65% win rate. The first like 2 months of Crimson Vow, that was where a lot of that flooding was from. We were at like literally 45%
Yeah, it
win
was like
rate.
45%, I think.
Just like could not do anything. And just like flood after flood after flood. And this right here, it happened in Eternal, was my most egregious flood moment ever. And I still like can't believe this happened. But so we'll play this one for everybody's enjoyment. Try to revel in my misfortune here.
And we'll still get a Grenadine from our Entomb. Another fire.
This is
sigil.
all in a row.
I'll draw an additional card that'll help. Okay, I need to stop drawing sigils now. Something that they could do. As... Wow, ridiculous
Your face.
draws. 39 cards.
Literally.
What?
What the hell? Right? Like,
This
okay, 9 sigils in a row. I've just never. That was the most like egregious
that's
in
brutal.
a row. I just still can't believe that even happened. Yeah, because there's only so much you can do. Like it's just like ridiculous. So that was the flood section. This is just like the most ridiculous other bad beats you could think of. So we'll wrap it up. 1% chance. Oh my god. So Hard Rock, I have a funny story if we're gonna talk a 1% chance. Joe and I have a story about much worse chance than that. But okay. So these are gonna be the worst hands you guys have ever seen. Oh, as it proceeds to stop playing. Let's see. Joe, can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. Yeah.
Okay. My video player seems to have decided to stop. Okay. Bear with me 1 second here. This is a great time to go down. This is what I get for still using Windows Media Player, right?
I still.
Okay.
29
Okay, we're back.
cards.
Okay, Joe, you ready for some of these other games?
Can you just share it with me? Share your
What?
screen.
Oh, yes. What? Oh, because it stopped. Okay. You might not get the audio for a second then. You know, we're trying. This is my first big stream here in my defense. Okay. So now we're going.
Yeah.
God, I don't think it's gonna do it. It's like as soon as I go to stream to you, it won't play. Oh man, just absolutely ruining the vibes here. Okay. Joe, you know any jokes? Just log on, just watch the stream,
Yeah,
I
I'll watch
guess.
the
That's the best we can do. I see why people like hire professional people
I
to like
still have
set
not
up their
drafted.
stream for them. Okay.
What?
What the hell? Right? Like,
This is just like a absolutely unplayable hands.
I've never seen a worse
This
hand.
is maybe the worst. I would rather have all lands.
We're also going first, so we get punished even more for the mulligan. What are we gonna hit less?
So we need an island and something to coffee. I think that was one of the worst hands we could have drawn.
I mean, it's just like
have a
turned into that. No, Joe! We put back the blue
As you see, we
card
won
just
the
to draw
game
the
not
island.
doing that. And
What? We need literally, I think the only way we win this is gorillas, barbarian gorillas, and a barbarian gorillas. And if you mill it, I'm... Now I get to play Beekeeper, now that he safely played his Caravan Mage.
The flames will guide us.
Just
what?
absolutely punished. Oh my god, what? One of the fire cards. This is incredible. What? Yo, we're 10 cards into the deck and we can't do anything? I'm almost not even mad. Like, this is so ridiculous.
This is an interesting hand.
Oh,
Probably
Joe, I don't know if you remember
just
this
use
one.
murder on that.
So we might as well. Yeah.
3 murders, bruh.
I
2
remember
murders.
this. Oh my god. Yep. This is awkward.
I think this is a mulligan. Platinum. Yo,
Again,
this
double
is
murder.
ridiculous. We even cut a murder. And that was the most ridiculous, stupid moments that we've had. Joe, I don't know how we got through Crimson Vow,
That was rough.
but those are just like I know I always joke that I'm like the most unlucky when it comes to these games, but man, keep in mind I cut a solid 3 minutes of other just ridiculous floods, draws, like moments, and still ended up with this. It's just oh man. But the 1% chance thing, you know what, I'll wait on that because I want to dig up that video one of these days. I'm pretty sure Joe and I had a draw. We we were like waiting. We just needed like one more land to play the game and have like an interactive back and forth. And I think we calculated it out, and it was something like ridiculous, like 1 in 100,000 to not see a land in the top like 20 something cards of the deck.
It was like we just needed 1 planes in the top 26 or something like that.
Yeah,
and we didn't get it.
It's like absolutely. Oh man, I need to find. I couldn't find that video. Otherwise, that one would have for
I don't know
sure
if
made it.
that was recorded. I can't remember. I don't even know what set it was.
Yeah, maybe we didn't record it. Huh. Well, I'll need to look for it at some point. But definitely some good games. Does anybody, before as we like wind this down, does anybody have any suggestions or requests for the type of content they want to see? Because I'm definitely open to some requests. Especially because my one thing is like Behemoth Cetera's it's pretty much on its last legs, especially given just 0 adjustments to the format. And I wouldn't mind, Joe, if we started drafting more and I started posting up more of those videos in the meantime.
Yeah, for sure.
So I know that's something like we want to do. I can still do more like League videos, but all of that's like stuff I've done. And I've been trying to figure out like other interesting things to do, but there's not that much in terms of like limited content. See, the only issue about Throne and Expedition is I wouldn't mind that, but I'm a decently good limited player in terms of like theory crafting my own constructed decks for Expedition and Throne. I'm just not there. But I could give it a try just as something different to switch it up, especially as things get pretty stale. So that's an option. I was thinking we could do some more tips for beginners. Yeah, I could definitely do like and Joe, that could be something you hop on with me to talk about, because a lot of the tips I would give to somebody just starting out or learning or even intermediate, you would also know. Like a lot of the
similar to Magic.
Yeah, a lot of the skills and tips are very translational, going from Magic to Eternal. So I could definitely do some more like informational updates versus all just gameplay. So yeah, there's a couple. And once again, don't be too surprised if you do see more draft content with JOMA from Magic, just because, like I said, it's one of those things where it keeps me putting out content more just because I have so much fun with it. And obviously, hey, we could do a draft of Eternal together one of these times too.
Yeah, we definitely could.
So, but okay, I can definitely add those into the mix. They just need to update this. Oh, and we'll do that. We'll do like ways to fix Behemoth Cetera. A video of how we would go about balancing Behemoth Cetera. I think that would be pretty fun. But that's all I have for all of y'all. I appreciate you guys in the chat coming in and talking. Hard Rock, I know I always see you commenting on the vids. It's always appreciated. I know Buff Primal, even your opinions on Justice, buff Justice. Make that rare removal spell uncommon or something. And I'll catch you guys in the videos. Venom of Grace, appreciate you showing up and messaging. JOMA, thank you for hopping on.
Yeah,
Appreciate you. More lives? Well, maybe. I'm like really rusty when it comes to streaming live and like the live entertainment, because obviously while I'm drafting and recording a video, I can just like edit out dead spaces, but it's honestly like a skill to like keep talking and filling in the dead spaces and still be entertaining, and I'm like very rusty with it, but I still appreciate you guys showing up and enjoying it. But I won't keep you guys any longer. I'll catch you on the channel for more Eternal and other limited content. Peace.